Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a lot different than what I usually do. It's gonna be a little more serious of a topic because some crazy stuff just went down, and I wanted to address some things that I think need to be changed in the world, because as I've said before in the videos, why have the ability to have a platform if you're not spreading good things or spreading change or spreading your opinions on things that need to change? So I just want to preface this video with, it's a bit different than what I usually do, but I think it's very important to cover. I also want to say one more thing before we get into the main topic of this video. These are my opinions, my beliefs that I'm sharing. You don't have to share them. But if you do, great. If you don't, also great. You have the right to your own opinion. So everything I'm going to say in this video, I recommend you watch to see either your side of things or a different side of things. This video is going to be very political, but just stay with me. Oh my gosh. Just stay with me, and I think that we can all get something useful out of it. On July 14, 2024, there was an attempted assassination of Donald Trump. I'm sure everybody heard about that. He was shot in the ear. It was a very scary thing for America. On June 14, 2025, Melissa and Mark Hortman were unfortunately taken from us by an act of political violence. On the same day, well, night technically, John and Yvette Hoffman were shot in their home, and there was an attempted shooting of their daughter, Hope. All of this was an act of political violence. And today, we had another unfortunate death of Charlie Kirk, right-winged, what would you call him? A right-winged, he basically went out, spread his beliefs all around the country. Whether you like any of these individuals or not, like me personally, I don't agree with Donald Trump's beliefs or Charlie Kirk's beliefs, but no one deserves to be shot and killed for speaking their beliefs. I will admit, a lot of the things Charlie Kirk said, I did not agree with, I do not support, I think are wrong, but that doesn't mean I think that somebody should have shot him when he was just doing his job. Same with Donald Trump. Again, he was running for president. He was shot at. Just doing his job, but somebody tried to harm him. Now again, do I think that we should have elected Donald Trump into office? No. But we did, and that's fine. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. He shouldn't have been shot at. It's ridiculous. Like, this stuff should never happen. We have an extreme political violence problem. Within the last year and a half, I feel like political violence has really sparked to a new level, and it's unacceptable. I think we also have to remember that all these people that political violence has affected have families. Charlie Kirk has a wife and a daughter that he left behind because somebody decided his life wasn't worth enough, which is ridiculous because everybody's life is worth the same, you know? Like, yeah, you can be a bad person, but that doesn't mean you deserve to die. That's not me saying Charlie Kirk was a bad person, because I'm not going to speak ill on somebody that passed away. But I just think we really need to reflect on these moments and just acknowledge that things are not okay. This isn't just a Republican or a Democrat problem. This is an American problem. When you look at it, the person that shot Donald Trump was a registered Republican. The people that shot Melissa Hortman, who shot and killed Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark, and who attempted to kill the Hoffman family, was a Republican. So like I said before, this isn't, oh, it's the Democrats' fault, it's the Republicans' fault. No, it's our weapon policy's fault. Our system has failed us many times over, and our system for sure failed Melissa Hortman, Mark Hortman, and Charlie Kirk. I feel like we also need to take a look at the violence that has been happening in schools. Most recently, a Catholic school in Minnesota, and today in Colorado. These kids are just trying to go to school, and we're having people come to their school with weapons and try and take their lives. That's disgusting. What did they do to you? Why are we having kids who are just going to school to learn, hang out with their friends, their family? Why are we having kids pay for an adult issue? These kids shouldn't even have to think about the fact that, if they go to school, they might not be safe. That shouldn't even be on their mind. They should just be able to go to school, learn, come home, hang out with their family. But some of these kids aren't coming home. You send your kid off to school, you think they're going to be safe, you think they're going to have so much fun, then you get a call. Hey, this person just came into our school and hurt a bunch of kids. You're never going to want to send your kid to school again. So like I said before, this is not a Republican or a Democrat problem. This is an American problem. We need to protect our kids. We need to protect our citizens. We need to protect our families, and we're not doing that. Like, yeah, Second Amendment right gives you the right to bear arms. But we have people getting these weapons that shouldn't have these weapons. We are failing to do proper background checks. We are failing to make sure these weapons get into the right hands. We're just handing them out, essentially. This doesn't happen everywhere. So like I said before, all these incidents should be proof that something has to change. We can't keep sacrificing people for nothing. We need to take their deaths and take their, I guess if you want to call it sacrifice, and actually do something and actually change. There's no reason that an average citizen should have an assault rifle in their closet. For what? I also think that a lot of these incidents could have been prevented. Let's take the Trump shooting last July, July 2024. They saw the guy up on the roof 20 minutes before it happened. Why was nothing done? The Hoffmans were shot in their homes. Then the shooter got to go around to two other public officials' houses. They weren't home. Then they went to the Hortman's house and killed them. How did nobody know anything? Like, what's going on? I think back to a couple years ago. Unfortunately, I can't remember which one it was, but I remember hearing a story about another school violent activity. I don't want to say it because it's sad, and I understand, but where the cops were outside for, I think it was like 30 minutes, and they didn't do anything. They just sat there while kids were inside. What are we doing? America, what are we doing? This is getting ridiculous. Like, there's only so much you can say to defend these actions at this point. Like, why we aren't doing anything, not the violent acts. But you can only defend nothing being done for so long until it gets to be too much. I also do want to talk about the incident that happened at Evergreen High School in Colorado, because I know that's not going to get a lot of attention due to the Charlie Kirk incident. According to CNN, there were at least 3 injured after the shooting in the Denver area. To prove my point of it's not going to get much attention, when I look up Evergreen, or not even just Evergreen, but when I look up school today, I see a Charlie Kirk news. Like, I see Charlie Kirk news, which is good, but also that means this incident's kind of going to get swept under the rug a little bit, which is very unfortunate because it's something that needs to be talked about more. So I am going to address it. I think another thing I want to talk about is the fact that when these incidents happen, we're not finding the suspect for 2 to 3 days after. Let's go way back in time, not way back, but another act of political violence is the Luigi Mangione, whatever. Luigi's thing, he shot and killed a CEO of a healthcare company. Super messed up. Another act of political violence. Another thing, I don't care if you think what he did was right, it's not. He still took someone away from his family. Yeah, you can argue that the CEO took millions of lives, but he didn't. It's still messed up no matter what you think about the case. It's still a messed up thing, and nobody ever deserves to die over something like that. But take that for example, they didn't find Luigi for 2 to 3 days after the shooting. What are you doing for those 2 to 3 days? You have him on security cameras going away. In the Hoffman and Hortman case, how do you not find the suspect for 2 to 3 days after when he was pretending to be a law enforcement official? How do you not find him? In this day and age where there's Ring doorbell cameras everywhere, how do you not find him? What are we doing for those 2 to 3 days not finding this guy? In the Charlie Kirk case, they didn't find. Let's look it up right now. Have they found him yet? Yeah, as of 11 minutes ago, there's been no suspect detained in that case. They are in a public area. How does somebody with a weapon just disappear? That makes no sense. How does he just disappear? How do these people disappear? Why don't we have security at these events? According to some sources on, some witnesses there, they claim there was no security at the Charlie Kirk event. Why? He is a loved and hated person who has received many death threats, so why don't we have security on him? How are we allowing weapons to get on the premises? Same with the Trump situation. Why didn't our federal agents do anything? Why did they just stand there and let it happen? What are we doing? With the Hoffman and Hortman case, how does he just disappear for 2 to 3 days? Luigi, how does he just disappear for 2 to 3 days? We got to do better as a society, as a country, and as individuals. We cannot support violence in any way. We can't support political violence, whether it's I don't care how much you hate Charlie Kirk or how much you hated Charlie Kirk. He didn't deserve to die. I myself have made comments about him being a horrible person, but that doesn't mean I think he should die. It's just absolutely ridiculous that nobody else is seeing, not nobody else, but that our government officials aren't seeing the problem with guns. What are we doing? Unfortunately, I didn't hit record, and now my camera's all messed up. Hang on. Unfortunately, I didn't record because I said some wise stuff just 5 seconds ago, but basically I just wanted to say, no matter if you agree with me or if you don't, we all need to recognize America has a problem and it needs to be solved. So hopefully these recent incidents help our government officials see that there is an issue and it needs to be changed immediately, because we can't keep having these things. We can't keep giving people access to weapons when they shouldn't have that access. We can't keep sacrificing our kids because somebody in a higher position than us decided that everybody has the right to guns. There shouldn't be assault weapons in a home that has a child in it, especially because those children can take them to school, or just people who shouldn't have guns shouldn't have them, and we should not be having assault rifles or assault weapons, period. It's unnecessary when a smaller weapon does the same thing, just not as fast. If you guys disagree with me, I want to hear your opinions on everything in the comments. Let's keep it respectful though, because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to share our views, share our opinions. Technically, there's no right or wrong answer. Even though I think my answer is the right answer, maybe I'm completely wrong in the long run. Do I think so? No, but it's a possibility. I really appreciate you all for watching, whether you agree or disagree with me. I want to hear your opinions in the comments. Keep it respectful, keep it nice, keep it safe. Don't get violent. I don't want any of that. We are not promoting violence at all. I just want to have a conversation. I want you to hear my beliefs. I want to hear your beliefs, and I want to hear opinions, because that's what it's all about. America, you should be able to hold your own opinions without it leading to your death. So prayers to Charlie Kirk's family, prayers to the Hoffmans and the Hortmans, prayers to all the victims in the recent school. I appreciate you all for watching. Next video will be hopefully a lot happier. I do want to make more videos like this though, because I think it's important and not everybody is sharing. And I think, like I said earlier, having your platform, you need to share your opinions so that everybody can see both sides if they didn't have access to those sides before. I hope you all took something out of this video. I hope it didn't just go over your head. And like I said, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to hear you out. So if you're trying to say something respectful in the comments, let's do that. Don't get violent. I appreciate you all, like I said before. Prayers to everybody. I'll see you all in the next video. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please drop a like and subscribe. Peace out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.